Today I am going to walk you guys through my daily reprogramming ritual. Okay. I created this for myself, um, about 4 years ago now. And then it ended up becoming, a really major staple part of my work and what I teach inside of Becoming Her Collective and what I have clients do, every single day. So basically, this is what it is. We're gonna walk through each thing together, but I want to go over a couple things first. Doing the full like 25-minute to it can end up being like almost an hour if I did 10 minutes each, just depends on like my time, my energy. I almost never do 10 minutes each. Like I can't remember the last time I did that. But doing the full ritual where it's like at least 25 minutes is kind of like the ideal version. But it's just really not an everyday thing that I'm doing that. So don't turn this into like another thing that you have to do. I can't do that for myself anyway because it will trigger that like rebellion reaction. Okay. Anytime something starts to feel like an obligation, like I have to do it, or if I start to feel like, oh, the day is like kind of a miss because I didn't do it, it will trigger that like rebellion that I've talked about on the podcast before, where it's like, I just like will detest the thing. Like I will not want to do it. Everything in me will kind of just like work against me. And like I literally will like would rather do anything else than the thing, right? So that's really important, right? Your brain learns through and rewires through repetition, okay? And it learns with association, not through like earning some kind of gold star for completing a routine, okay? So the goal is actually never to complete the ritual. The goal is to give your brain repeated experiences of thoughts, emotions, and images and behaviors you want to become more familiar with. Okay. You want them to become automatic. You're giving your brain exposure. Okay. So that means that there are basically like three versions of what the ritual could look like, and they're all valid. Okay. So the full ritual is 5 to 10 minutes of each one of these when you have the capacity and the desire. I can feel a hair on me. I'm sorry. I'm like, it's driving me crazy. You have to have the capacity and the desire. So there are going to be like plenty of times where you just don't have the capacity. You're energetically, mentally like fried. Like you are not going to have it in you. And if that's a lot of the time, that's okay. Okay. Um and then the desire. Like I'm not going to do the full ritual if I'm not really feeling the desire to do that. Like today I have the desire. Right? I woke up and I was just like craving that. Like I wanted slow. I wanted to really really spend time on myself and with myself. And it felt really really good. If I'm making myself do this, it's good that's gonna go away, right? That's gonna go away. There are certain things that, we all know we need to do to have, the body we want, the life we want, the money we want, whatever. There are certain things in life that we just need to do. And you can wire in consistency. You guys know that. That's what I teach you in the Tuesday class. Like we've gone over all of that. But with something like this, where it's like there's like a spiritual aspect to this, right? Like this is soul work. This is like your relationship with yourself. And yes, it does rewire your brain. I personally don't want it to become one of those things. So even if I were to like, oh, I'm going to wire in consistency with this, like specifically, it would begin to feel like one of those things I have to do. Does that make sense? So I wire in like I am just a consistent person. When something is important, I am just consistent. I don't even think about it. I wire in consistency in general, but I'm never going to make this something that I have to do, something that I need to be consistent with or else. Okay. So, version number one of this is the full ritual. 5 to 10 minutes of each of these on the list when you have the capacity and the desire. Version two, choose your own ritual. You can pick 1 to 3 pieces of this based on whatever you need that day. Okay. And then there's kind of this like minimum dose version of the ritual, okay? 5 minutes total, okay? Period. EFT in the shower, visualization before you get out of bed, self talk while you're driving, scripting page really quick, walking around the block, whatever. Okay. Do not make your nervous system associate becoming her with obligation. If every morning becomes this like, oh, I haven't done my ritual yet, you are rehearsing pressure, resistance, self criticism alongside the very work that's supposed to help you change and supposed to make it feel easeful and good. Giving yourself choice, like out of these things that Allie's put in front of me to help my brain not have to work and think, what should I do today to become her? Just pick one of these things. I'm going to look at the different versions of it and pick what feels good to me. That choice, giving yourself choice each day, creates this sort of energetic yes feeling in your body. It makes you feel like you're in charge because you are. It makes you feel good about it, not obligated to it. And those are very different energetic states to be in with something like this. Okay. So you can even ask yourself every morning, what would support my brain the most today? Maybe today you need EFT because you woke up really activated or anxious about something. Tomorrow you feel amazing and you want to do scripting. Wednesday you've got, 7 minutes and you just visualize in the shower. Thursday you want to do the whole fucking thing. Okay? All of it counts. Small repetitions still give the brain another rep that you did this. This is something that you do. Okay. You're building familiarity. Familiarity matters in a huge way when you are trying to change your subconscious defaults, which is what we're trying to do. Okay. Um, Stacy, following intuitive flow is so self-inspirational. Saturday, I spent almost the whole day writing just because I wanted to. Exactly. And Stacy, like, if you had made this, like, I don't know if everyone is this, but for me, if I made it like, oh, I have to write every single day, I'm writing every single day, eventually I'm going to stop wanting to write. It's going to lose its joy. It's going to lose the energetic spark behind it and that's what makes it powerful in the first place, right? So I definitely wanted to touch on that, like the rebellion reaction that can come up for a lot of us and not making this something you have to do. Okay. Um, so let's get into this. We're gonna teach the 5 pieces. Okay. Visualization. You're rehearsing something before you live something. This is basically it's literally just mental rehearsal. Okay. Mental imagery um kind of gets like these neural systems on board, and it's the same neural systems that are involved in actual like perception and action. So the brain doesn't treat imagery as exactly like identical to reality, but it absolutely is not doing nothing either. That's why you can imagine something like we usually do this automatically with something negative. You imagine something really negative happening and you feel the feelings in your body. Now, it's not exactly as strong as if that thing were actually happening in your real life, but you feel those feelings, right? You can feel it in the mind body connection because the mind it is not doing nothing. It is firing those neural systems that are the same ones that are firing when you are actually perceiving something or doing something with it in real life. Okay. Repeated mental rehearsal is strongly associated with neuroplasticity. So the brain's ability to change, okay, and improving performance, improving like motor skill, like literally the things that you are activating when you are doing something or living the thing are beginning to get worked out and firing because you're mentally rehearsing doing the thing, having the thing, experiencing the thing, whatever it is. It can be a life situation, it could be um, getting or receiving something that you desire. And this is where we have to be really careful because, like, the kind of like woo manifestation side of things really gets it fucked up and it makes me angry because it confuses people and it makes them think that they're doing something wrong, and it kind of just like mystifies this. And while I do absolutely believe there are certain things that like we just can't understand, like you can't explain it, and that's a beautiful magical part of being alive in this world, There's science behind this, okay? Like, it is literally just neuroplasticity. It is the way the brain works. The brain speaks in the language of imagery, okay? Just like when you dream. So when you purposely visualize something, you're speaking your subconscious mind's language, okay? Emotional imagery produces like measurable physiological responses, okay? Which means you can you can practice not only seeing an experience but feeling yourself inside it. And that is familiarizing it to your brain. You're making the future experiences you want, the future identity that you're trying to shift into, less unfamiliar to your brain. Because what's unfamiliar means it's not safe, it's a threat, right? And your brain's going to fire everything together to try to keep you away from that. By visualizing all of that, you're making it familiar, so you're making it feel safer, so your brain is not, your subconscious is not going to be trying to sabotage your efforts to step into that world, to become that version of yourself, to have that life, to have that whatever it is, okay? Basically, visualization is where we stop asking the brain to create a life it's never rehearsed, it's never experienced, that feels it, we stop making it feel like a threat. It is incredibly, incredibly, incredibly powerful. And you are already doing this all the time. Okay. So essentially, you are manifesting all the time. You don't have to try. You're doing it all the time. So this is where we just intentionally put that power somewhere we want to go, something we want to create. Next up, we have EFT, emotional freedom technique. Okay. EFT is basically combining um like these elements of somatic tapping, okay, on the body and on the face with like cognitive exposure. So basically, when we look at the studies, okay, that they've done around EFT, we find like there's major reductions in negative things like stress, okay, cortisol, anxiety, that very strong emotional charge you get around something when you think about something or you're about to go do something, okay? So basically it's like regulating your state of being, and then like it's an emotional processing tool, okay? So you're not just thinking a new thought, like, "Oh, I'm gonna be this version of me." Meanwhile, your body is like screaming the old one, right? It's screaming like, "No, that doesn't feel safe. That feels like a threat." EFT neutralizes that. EFT literally helps you form new neural pathways and regulate and process your emotion. It changes your state, okay? And it changes your state incredibly fast. I would say it is the fastest of any technique that I at this point in my life have been studied and gone through the certifications and stuff, okay? It is the fastest. It is so simple and so strange, but it works, okay? So basically EFT helps me work with the emotional charge underneath a pattern instead of just trying to like positive think override it. EFT makes sure that you're not bullshitting yourself because your brain knows when you are. That's why like I mentioned when we were talking about visualization, I get frustrated with like the manifestation gurus and stuff. A lot of the time they overly fluff it. They make it this like vague, spiritual, mystical thing. And like your subconscious is going to know this is bullshit. So EFT neutralizes that. If all I do in a day is 5 minutes of EFT or tapping, okay, on the thing that's actually activated in me, that is the most productive thing I could do in 5 minutes. If you did 5 minutes of EFT every day, your entire life will change. Literally, like I shit you not, okay? And I know because I've done it. I had a client a couple years ago where I challenged her and I it just came to me. It was like very I just felt like she needed to do this and then I ended up doing it with her. We did 10 minutes a day of EFT tapping specifically on money. 5 minutes of what is coming up that's negative towards money, 5 minutes of what is coming up that's positive towards money. And it changed our lives. It changed I ended up like literally creating a new pathway of revenue in my business that was right in front of me that I did not see before. My mind felt clearer. I started checking my bank account and being less afraid of it. Things just literally like neutralized. everywhere. And when you become neutral towards something instead of emotionally activated and charged and uptight about it, that part of your life begins to soften. You can receive things, things start to flow, things just feel so much lighter. Okay. If you're only going to do one thing, let it be this. EFT is extremely potent. Okay. Next is scripting. Scripting is really powerful because you're basically giving language and structure to the new story you're trying to get your brain familiar with. Okay. So this is not write something down and manifest it. This is deliberate cognitive processing. Okay. Writing, and this needs to be pen to paper. If you can't, or you just hate that and you want to type it, that's okay. But it is going to increase it by, I would say, it like, I have no numbers science behind this, but there is science behind actually writing, and I'll get into that in a second. But I would say, like, I feel it like gives like a 50% higher charge when I'm writing pencil or pen to paper versus typing. But typing it out still forces you to put words to things and get specific. So that's still going to be powerful, but it is definitely, definitely, definitely more when you are actually physically writing. Okay. So writing basically forces like that vague, like internal material about like desire, what you desire, who you want to be, the habits you want to have, the life you want to live, the way you want to feel. Writing it forces that, see what I'm saying? Like that it's vague. You can feel it, you can tap into it, but it's just very vague. Writing forces it into clear, explicit language. It gets it out of here and onto the paper. Okay. Expressive writing and positive writing research suggests to us in the studies they've done that writing can influence your emotional processing. Okay. Also, let me get this up so I don't fuck up the way that this was said. Yeah, here it is. Okay. Expressive and positive writing influences emotional processing, cognitive processing, mood, etc. Like there's a huge list, okay? But your cognitive processing, your brain is processing literally like saying what you want, imagining yourself having it. Scripting is the act of journaling as if you already are that version of yourself, as if you already have the thing. It's done. I'm in it right now. Okay, you're not just journaling your desires. Your scripting is I'm journaling as if I already have it. When you do that, you are cognitively processing what it would be like, what it is like to be her. Familiarizing it with your brain again and again, writing forces that vague internal desire to become explicit, clear language. It forces you to decide and get clear and think through it in a way that you could describe what it is like to be her. The power behind this is huge. Scripting is the one, I'll be so for real with you guys. I do scripting the least often, but I feel a huge, huge like shift, like a wave of energetic shift when I do it. Okay. Scripting basically like it's like you're right, it's constructive writing because you're building up this world, this vision of you being a new version of you, of having things you don't have, experiencing things you don't experience right now, right? It makes you make meaning. It makes you define and be clear, right? You're like putting labels and clarity on something. You're like, it's like you're rehearsing and planning rather than just simply like, I really want that. I want to be that kind of person that has, a life like that, a house like that, a bag like that, a bank account like that, a body like that, a relationship like that. But how? What? Because of what? You never really just want the thing. You want the feeling that that is going to give you. So what is the feeling? How does it feel to have it? It makes you decide that. Scripting gives us an opportunity to repeatedly organize our attention and intention around who we're becoming, what we believe, what we notice when we imagine being that version of ourselves, and how we respond to being that version of ourselves. And the biggest thing I could tell you about what to script is you need to script identity, not just like possessions and external. Okay. So instead of, I make $50,000 months now. No, you're writing, I did it. It happened. It's so crazy. And I don't even really know how it happened, but it did. And I have $50,000 coming in every single month. And I notice how differently I respond to money now. I no longer panic when bop, 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 bop. That gives the brain, that gives the brain an actual behavioral identity to rehearse. And it's feeling the feelings. Scripting gives the new identity language, labels, clear words, clear verbiage. So when I'm scripting, I'm not just wishing for like a different result. I am defining the thoughts. I'm defining the way I'm going to interpret it when that is my reality. I'm defining the behaviors of the person who creates that world. And it forces you to get clear. I would say scripting brings up the most resistance for me personally because I'm having to get clear and I like being general. It feels safer. It puts you up against hidden nooks and crannies where you might be being too vague and not really tapped in enough to who it is you want to become. It forces you to really look at her and define her. All right, next is self-talk. This is the voice you're rehearsing all day, okay? This one is really huge because self-talk is not just confined to, the daily reprogramming ritual. It's all day. Your self-talk influences so much you don't realize. It influences what you naturally put your attention on, what you notice, your cognition, your motivation, your behavior. Um there are so many benefits to like instructional, motivational, positive self-talk. It will increase your performance in the day, no matter what you do. If you're a stay at home mom, if you're in corporate, if you're a business owner, it doesn't matter. It's going to increase how you perform in the best way. What you repeatedly say to yourself and tell yourself shapes what comes up for you. What, like I said, what gets your attention, how you interpret situations, your perception, the filter that you are experiencing this life through, and what behavior you choose next. Okay. I could be in the room with, let's say, Brittany. Okay. Let's say Brittany's in real life. She's here with me and we're having an experience together. Okay. We're experiencing the same thing at the same time, the same day, wearing the same outfit. We're matching. We're literally the same thing. And that experience is going to happen. And I'm going to experience it differently than Brittany because she has a different perception. And one of the biggest things that forms your perception, which again is the filter you're experiencing everything through. One of the biggest things that where does that filter come from is your self-talk. So it doesn't mean one's better than the other or more might be positive, might be negative. That's all. See, even what we define as positive or negative is perception too. But Brittany is going to perceive that experience at least slightly different than me because she has a different perception. And again, the biggest thing that forms your perception is your self-talk. So self-talk in the ritual and throughout the day, really like you're deliberately rehearsing a different internal response to life, a different internal voice. And it works best when the statements are really like usable and believable enough that you're actually engaging with them and it's bringing up good emotion. You're not just like saying random affirmations or saying like reciting bullshit to yourself where like your body is like, that's not true. So the way that things are phrased is really important. Basically, self talk is giving your inner voice more repetitions of how we want it to sound because it's yammering on usually negatively all day. So we stop letting the old identity have the microphone all day. We intentionally give it a few minutes of this is where we're going. This is the kind of person that I am. I am becoming this. I am deciding that I get to have that. Things like that. Okay. Next, we have body. Body is because there is a mind body connection. Okay. And you can use the body to rewire your brain. I personally like have seen nobody talk about this the way that I have experienced this in my life, okay? This category is really broad. It could be going to the gym and doing a workout. It could be taking a walk. It could be stretching. It could be showering and feeling the water on your body, connecting with your body, seeing the water carry away the stress that you're feeling, the anxiety, washing away the old identity and visualizing the new one pouring down over your head. But this rewires your brain and it feels really good. Another thing you could do is like it's just touching, self touch, your lotion in the morning, lotion ritual, loving your body, praising your body, speaking positively to your body. And also sensuality, self pleasure could be the body part of the ritual. Getting dressed and really like placing things on yourself, like ritualizing. You're not just throwing yourself together and running out the door, like ritualizing it, loving yourself, adorning yourself, putting like have you ever heard of some people call it glamour magic. It's literally it is magic. Like when you're doing your skincare, you're putting your makeup on for the day, like speaking to yourself and commanding your cells into health and well-being and make it speaking how beautiful of a person of a soul you are while you're touching and doing your skincare. Like it could be dancing to your favorite song, like whatever makes you feel present and connected to your body, whatever makes you feel good, feeling good feelings in our body, speaking love and life to our body when we're so fucking hard on her most of the time. Okay. So there's a lot of science behind all of this. And I don't want to, we don't have time to get into all of it, but for exercise in particular, okay, exercise influences the neurotransmitter systems, okay, and it affects your stress. So it's literally going to improve your mood, it's going to improve your cognition and your emotional regulation. Happy people don't kill people, okay, right? Like happy people are you literally are making yourself happier. Literally like in that moment, okay? Exercise increases the circulation, okay? It makes you your lymphatic system increases. It also there's okay, so there's these like I'm gonna nerd out for a second, but I won't go too hard, I promise. There are things called neurotrophic factors, okay? These are involved in like learning and memory. Exercise increases circulation to those things. You're literally getting smarter. It's helping you protect your brain from things that no one wants to happen down the line, like dementia and things like that. Okay. Physical activity is so good for your brain. It creates this like conversation between muscle and brain through biological pathways. Okay. Like it is so powerful. It is not about just forcing your body to look different because you want to be hotter or you're trying to change your body into like whatever society says is attractive. It is literally rewiring your brain. It is so good for you. Not to mention sex, self pleasure, lotion ritual, the shower thing I walked you through, stretching, yoga, walking, anything is so good for you to connect with your body. Okay. Embodiment takes the work out of your head and puts it into the body and allowing yourself to feel good instead of constantly pushing yourself, forcing yourself, shit talking yourself for the way your body looks at this point in your life and you're disappointed and whatever. You're getting out of that and you're asking like how can I feel really good? When you feel good, you're getting more familiar with feeling good. And when feeling good is familiar to the brain, you are going to start manifesting like a motherfucker, okay? Like things are just going to start flowing through. It is so cool. It is so powerful. So that version of you want to become, how does she move her body? How does she take care of her body? How does she feel about her body? How does she talk to her body? How does she occupy space? How does she prioritize pleasure? What does it feel like physically to be her? The body portion of the ritual is where becoming her stops being just like an intellectual exercise and it's like a physical practice. You are physically practicing being someone who treats herself differently. When these are all working together regularly, your entire life will change. Like, bitch, I cannot tell you enough. This has the power to drastically change. Like, I'm getting emotional because, like, I literally, like, I have seen the coolest things happen for people from doing these few things. And you don't even need to do them all every day. You don't need to do it perfectly, but touching on this every day at some point is going to change your brain. And you change your brain, you change your life. Visualization rehearses it. EFT releases some of the charge around what's keeping you from having it. Scripting gives it specific language, self talk reinforces it, and the body gives you a lived experience of it. I I'm working on trademarking this because this is my thing. Like, I created this, I invented this for me. I am so passionate about, if you were to do even just 5 minutes of some version of this, of what's on this list every day, it is going to make you a better mother, a better person, a better part of your community. It is going to elevate you. It is going to change how you are vibrating. Every living thing, everything has matter, has a vibration. It is going to raise your vibration in the realest, science-backed, non-fluffy way. You've never felt so good as when this is how you operate during the day. As when you touch on this for at least 5 minutes every day. None of this requires you to be perfect. Okay? We're after just we're after reps, okay? Repetition, just making this normal, touching on it every day. Okay? And remember, like, missing Tuesday doesn't erase what you did on Monday. Okay? Doing only EFT for 5 minutes doesn't not count. Taking 3 minutes to visualize something doesn't mean you failed just because the timer didn't hit 10 minutes, okay? Perfectionism is ruining your life. Stop. Stop operating from that and just know, like, this is here to guide you. This is here to save you brain work. This is here to just tell you, listen, like, just do something on this list. If you can do all of them, amazing. We love that. Normally on Sundays, I do all of them because Sunday is my slow day. But during the week, I almost never do. Okay. I would rather you have a 5 minute ritual you willingly return to for the next year than a 45-minute ritual you are forcing yourself through for, 11 days and then it turns into an obligation. Now you're rebelling against it. This will change your damn life. I stand 10 toes down on that. I've seen it for myself. This is what I come back to whenever I feel off. Every single client I work with, I go over this with them. I have them do it, male or female. I have a professional athlete client right now. He's doing this. It is changing his life. He is freaking out. This will literally change everything. I can't say anything more than that. I believe in it so strongly. Okay. Good, good, good. I love this. Jen, hi Jen. Yes. Okay, good. Um, and yes, Andrea, great question. The self-talk is reinforced through BHC audios, right? Yes. Your self-talk does not necessarily need to be you talking to yourself. It's you can take it in too, okay? You're listening, the inner voice, okay? You're listening to positive things. Play the subliminals, play the audios, have things on while you're working, hit play on something while you get ready. And also, like, you can combine these things, okay? You could do your visualization while you do EFT. Visualize whatever it is that you want in life, the version of you you're becoming, whatever, and tapping on the parts of your body. That's fine. You can do scripting while you listen to an audio from BHC. Okay. You could do body while you do self talk. Okay. Talking while you do your skincare. Like, see, it can literally be 5 minutes. Yes, Heidi, try it. Try it. Whatever one like pops out at you the most, like, just try it and see what happens. Please come back, you all, and like share how this, what come up, what comes up for you, how it felt, what you did, the struggles with it. Like, I'm gonna be talking more about this like on social media and stuff. More people need to know about this. It's just something that like is a part of my life and part of my work behind the scenes, but like everyone needs to do. There's no reason that everyone can't do some version of this. Everyone has 5 minutes. Literally will change your life. Okay. Please let me know what comes up and how it goes. If there's issues, if you feel stuck, like your brain is going to try to get in the way. Okay. Um, but yeah, make it feel good. Make it, how could you make this? How can I let this be easy and not make it complicated, not make it obligatory? Okay. Tapping on the collarbone with two fingers is oddly calming. Yes, because this is directly connected to calming your nervous system. I use the ChatGPT template for EFT tapping for everything now. Yes. And I believe is that that's in the collective, but is that a freebie? I don't think it is. I think it's only in the collective. But you guys, if you're in there, you have access to that. Use it. It's like my prompt for like how to get ChatGPT to make you an EFT script the way that I would do it if I was coaching you. It's like my way of doing EFT the way that I was taught. And it's so effective. Like, and then you can just input like what emotion is what is coming up for you, and it will literally make a custom script for you. It's super powerful. Yeah, okay, it's in Becoming Her Collective. So if you're in there, go get that. It's super, super powerful. All right, my loves, you can always comment on this post if you have a question. I'll check back in later today. Steph and I will both do that, and we'll answer anything that you need, anything that you need help with. And then if you have not yet signed up, we are doing a live class tomorrow. It is all about how to wire your brain for consistency and to become the woman who follows through. It's called Stop Starting Over. If you have never come to this class, what are you doing? It's like 60 minutes, 90 minutes max, with like questions that I stick around a little bit after. 60 minutes, it'll change your life. Okay. Come get your butt in there. If you're not in the collective yet, that is where you're going to want to join from. Okay. Because it's going to give you the lowest price and a free call with me. And that's the only place you can get that. Okay. We'll share the link for that as well. But it's just my website, alexhauser.com/stop starting over. And you can sign right up for free. Okay. Yes. Thank you, Steph. All right, my loves. I'll see those of you coming to the identity lock-in call in a minute, and the rest of you have a beautiful day. Bye, babes.